Hey everybody, so what we're going to do is paint the mid-door trims that go in here. There's two metal plates that go in both sides of the car and our windscreen wipers arms. So we're going to get both of those painted and put on the car. So they're going to get painted in a silvered black, so it's like it's not a pearlescent and it's more of a metallic silver black, so it actually should look pretty cool. Once we darken all these edges and have it super clean, it should hopefully match all right. Now one of the things we were waiting on before we put the rear of the car together was a rear tow bar, and we hadn't been able to find one locally, and I happened to find one a couple of days ago. So we're going to pull the back of the car apart again, sort the tow bar out, just clean it up, give it a quick paint, get it on the car, and get all the rear bar and everything back on, which will finish off that. And the driver's door lock, which was damaged before we got the car, a replacement one is in currently getting rekeyed, so we'll be able to do that and finalise that. So we're pretty close to having just about everything done. We'll get all these sorted out, so we'll go get this stuff painted, we'll get it in and we'll get it on the car, get that done and keep going from there. Well, hello everybody. So one of the things that I knew early on with the XR6 was the driver's side door lock was damaged. So someone had tried to put a screwdriver in at some stage, tried to break in a car. It's a very typical thing with these apparently. So we found I got myself another one out of another car and had it rekeyed to this car. So different lock, same key, which is good. So now we're going to reinstall it. Now I got a little excited earlier on and put all the fab and everything back on. So we're going to take all this off and then install the lock and the handle, and then this door will be pretty well done except for some trim. Then we're going to keep moving on with the rest of the car. So we've got to put the rest of the lock together, and then we'll get it in to the handle and then go
with a typical amount of loud and low passages. Let's do this! Do this! Smoking! Right? Right on! Hell yeah!
So one of the things we're chucking on now is the black striping that goes in this section of the door here. Now these have been previously painted. As we've looked at, which are here, they come out with a nice, it's actually had a speckled black in there, but unfortunately grabbed a lot of dust when we painted these. We copped a big heap right at the end. So what we're going to do is get them on the car, get them secure, and then we're going to sand them down and buff and polish them when they're on the car, just to save any issues of them getting damaged while we're doing it off the car. And on the car there's a few other associated problems with that, but we can get that sorted a lot easier than if you accidentally destroy it while it's off the car. So what we're going to do is we're going to put double-sided tape to hold it, but then glue it on, and it bolts in under this section here. So we do have to take these back off, and it slots in, bolts through. We'll glue it as they previously had it. There's no actual clips up here for any of this. I have no idea what they are, so we are just going to glue nice and high like it's been previously done. The double-sided tape just to hold it on while we go. We'll chuck them on, and then we're getting a lot closer to where we need to be. So the rear tow bar that we got ourselves for the back of this from the wrecking yard, we're going to chuck in today. Whole rear bar assembly's got to come back off, so we've got to undo a bit of the work that we've already done. So I'll rip that off real quick. I won't bother filming that sort of stuff. It's been seen put on and off and on and off. So we'll get that, and then we'll figure out how to put the rear tow bar on. Never done one. Don't have any instructions for it. Just have a whole bunch of bolts and plates, but hopefully it's pretty well straightforward. So we'll get stuck into that. We'll take that off, and then we'll get the on, and we'll put it all back on, and hopefully it'll all fit properly. Okay, so we're going for the install of our Ford XR6 BF sedan tow bar. Now, this job is pretty straightforward, but there's a few little complications with it. So one of the major things that we got to do is cut out this section of the car just here. So down here, this bit here, because our main rail just here slides down this side, bolts in here. When we get down into here where the rail slides through, we have to find the location and drill a hole in here for the bolt that we pass one of these down the rail, poke it out, attach it. Same thing happens on this side here. We have to cut out this section of the car here, drop the exhaust if we need to, drill another hole here, which probably don't need to drop the exhaust, but we might be right, but in many cases you might need to drop the exhaust. Now, there are bolts that go we might have to drill some holes in here as well for these extra bolt holes through here, which is not an issue. And there is a bolt that goes through the base of this into, I believe, one of these threaded sections here. Now, the back of this car has been completely smashed and replaced, so some of this isn't lined up quite right. So we'll figure that out as we go. If we've got to chip some of this out in here, we might need to cut a bit of that out. But we'll get stuck into that. We'll start cutting these away. So we've cut out these sections that we needed to cut out, threaded the two studs, the two holes on this side that we need to do. We've also done this side as well. We've cut this out. We don't need to thread anything here because we've got to drill through after the fact. Now, the other thing I had was some blue paint laying around to stop any rust from getting in there. So now we'll start installing it and we'll work everything else out as we go. So finally got it installed. Took a bit longer than what I thought, but part of the process. So drilled this hole up in here, got this bolt through, got these on, drilled up through here. So we've got this bolt in here as well. On the other side, we've done the same, drilled through here, put this on, drilled up inside here, measured that out, and drilled through from this side to get that bolt in there. Now, in this section here is supposed to be this spacer, but there's no way that is going to fit in that section at all. So my guess is that, being that the back of the car has been completely smashed and replaced, that stuff's not quite right, because a few things didn't quite line up, so we had to re-drill some of the holes. We did tap the two holes down the other end, but that wasn't an issue. But whatever's here, something. So if I know the car's been hit in this direction, so it doesn't matter, it bolts up quite fine. I don't think there's going to be an issue there. It's tight anyway. I had to slam it in with jacks and hammers, so it should be good. So I'll put the rear bar back on, make sure that fits now that we've got this done, and then do the next bit. So we got it done. I've actually just put it in upside down, so yay for me. Let me fix that. So now I've got it in the right way. It's looking good. So hopefully it won't rip off the car, and we've bolted in right. It actually sticks out quite a long way. So I'll obviously take that off and put that in the boot when we're not using it. Now we'll be able to finish up the cover under here that we wanted to make. We'll have a look into that, but that's not happening right now. So we'll have a play and come up with something.